beautiful Sunday here in the NYC area, tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. That's where I'm at, the Garden State, Connecticut, all the Northeast, the corridor here. Larry Ridley here, SMY, NBC Sports Madden, NFL, NBA 2K, live here. Esports Extra is the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and everything else in between. We'll take your phone calls today live, 877-853-5247. That meeting ID is Esports Extra. That's 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Got a fabulous show today, but before we get started, let's go ahead and bring in the Broskis. Of course, got fellow sportscaster, NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, Derwin Worrell. He is here. We got Ivan OG King Kurt, head coach of the NBA 2K League's Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. Derwin, we'll start with you. What's up, D-Dubs? Where Brooklyn at? That's all I got.
We're right here, chilling in Brooklyn. Nice weather outside. Mr. Softy just went by, so you know it's all good.
You said Mr. Softy?
The ice cream truck just went by, so it's all good in the neighborhood.
Yes. Soft serve, man. Got to get it, man. What about the Choco tacos and all that stuff, man? What are your kids like?
My son is not into tacos and stuff like that. I
said Choco tacos. That's the hard, that's the ice cream taco.
Oh, no, he likes regular soft ice cream.
Got
it doesn't matter if I have ice cream in the house. He wants ice cream from outside from the truck.
See, that's the key. They want the truck. They don't care what you got. OG, what's up with you, man? You're back in the NYC, Manhattan. What's up with you?
I'm good. Landed yesterday afternoon. We got back to work yesterday. Well, no. I landed Friday afternoon.
Yep.
Got back in the lab yesterday. Looking pretty good. Just getting geared up for our game on Monday.
Good stuff, man. So OG, he is back in the NYC. A couple games.
But Larry, wait. Hey, OG, talking about looking pretty good. I want to know about them glasses you got. Those glasses.
Oh, these the aviators. You can check them out on zenny.com/gaming.
Aviators. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's my favorite pair.
You flying airplanes now? You a fighter? You a pilot? What are you doing? You a cop? What you doing, man?
Nah, just trying to look a little swaggy, man.
Okay, I got you, man. Okay,
I feel you.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I see you, OG, but you're looking good, man. I like those. You were rocking the red ones on Thursday, so that's a good look for you, man. Congratulations with the other company. What's the company again?
Zenny Blocks. You can, like I said, zenny.com/gaming. It's great protective eyewear. Blocks out all the blue rays.
Yes, sir.
Relieves you from any from eye fatigue and different things like that. So definitely check it out.
Look at Coach K. Get on in here, Coach K.
Derwin with the assist.
It's called the
Hey, send Derwin one, please.
Hey, he threw it up for him, man.
Appreciate that, Derwin.
He caught him, so good stuff. All right, guys, let's get started. We got a big show today. We're talking NFL preseason. We're talking about Brady and the Bucs and their workouts. NBA schedule, NBA testing. Vince Carter, Kevin Ware Jr. You might remember that name. Played at Louisville, won the national championship, had the horrific leg injury. He's slated to join us today. We'll talk with him. Clips and Lakers. We're going to battle that. Who's the best of the West? And we'll talk about the beast of the East in the Eastern Conference. Celtics. Raptors, Bucks, Sixers, teams like that. We'll talk about his days at Louisville playing for Rick Pitino. We'll talk about his pro career, been playing the last couple of years overseas. We'll get into Coach K. Coach K making some news with the video promoting Black Lives Matter with BLM. We'll talk about that, and he actually uttered the words several times. So shouts out and congratulations and big ups to Coach K. We'll get into that. Major League Baseball, we have an opening day. We know that it's going to start. We know who the opponents will be, and one of them, of course, involves one of our New York teams. We'll talk about that. We'll get into, of course, the big news in esports has been the scandal going on about a little more than a week now. Lots of women have come out to talk about that, and also one of the biggest names in esports and gaming shut down by Twitch. We'll get into that. NBA 2K League, the Broski OG, Ivan King Kurt. Ivan Curtis will catch us up to date with the NBA 2K League. Also, Get Trouble movie coming out this Friday, July the 3rd. The Stream-a-thon, the celebrity HBCU takeover, a week from today, folks, right here on twitch.tv/competeforever, mixer.com/competeforever, youtube.com/competeforever, and also on our Facebook gaming page, facebook.com/gaming/competeforever. We'll get into that. But let's go ahead and get started with the show. NFL preseason, guys. Let's dive in. I saw this early last week. There's been some talk, there's some buzz. I know some guys in Boston have been talking about it. Then it went sort of mainstream this earlier this week, or this past week, I guess, since it's Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, we kind of heard about this, and then it really became pretty much, close to official as you can get on Thursday and Friday. But it looks like they are going to slash the preseason and have 2 games. Good call by you guys. And what do you think as far as the ramifications and the reasoning behind shutting down these 2 preseason games? Of course, in this pandemic with COVID-19 coronavirus. We'll start with you, D-Dubs, in Brooklyn, because that's where you at.
I think it's kind of tough. One thing that comes to mind is going to hurt all the young guys, all the draft picks, all the free agents that would normally get a couple of preseason games to try to make a team. It's going to be hard for some of these guys to make teams now because for 2 preseason games, you're going to want your regulars to get some kind of reps in there. You look at a Tom Brady down in Tampa, learning a new system with Bruce Arians. He's got to get his reps.
I don't think Brady has a problem. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Right.
But that ain't their problem.
but you got to practice on tackling might be an issue. Guys haven't hit anybody in months.
Absolutely.
Just the opportunity for some of the young guys, some of the free agents are trying to make a team. It's going to be tougher for them when they're not able to get some of these reps.
OG, your thoughts, NFL preseason being slashed in half from 4 games down to 2. Look, we sort of saw this coming when they canceled the Hall of Fame game. So we sort of got a clue there about a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, Derwin kind of hit it on the money for me. Like I said, the veteran players, I mean, they probably been wanting this for a while now. But for the younger players who trying to make rosters and get more playing time and different things like that, it's definitely going to decrease their chances. But like you said, with them canceling the Hall of Fame game and different things like that, and plus still battling the COVID situation, it's kind of understandable at the moment. But like I said, it's always, I think, until we get this under control, it's going to be a lot of people affected by certain decisions made, and then it's going to be another half that's they're going to be more comfortable with the choice. So definitely, like I said, I'm a fan. I don't even watch preseason games, so I've always been a big fan of them reducing preseason games.
Well, Durham, they talked about it, when they wanted to talk about the 18-game schedule, the first thing they would do is get rid of 2 preseason games. How does this affect the bottom of the roster? 90 players usually show up in training camp. Got to get that thing and whittle it down to 53, so you have to cut, 37 guys at some point? How does that affect those marginal players? I think this could hurt them. It's better overall for the league, but it's going to hurt some of those marginal players.
Yeah, it's going to limit their chances to impress. You can't impress if you're not on the field. You got to play. If you're only going to have 2 preseason games, your regulars to get get on point on offense. Offense's timing. And I'm going to go back to Tom Brady. Even though he's a veteran, he's got a new team, new receivers. He's never played with these guys before. And we're also going to talk about his workouts. But you got to get in sync offensively, passing the football. When you're supposed to be as a receiver, things of that nature. You're going to need at least a game to get that done. We can't just be off all these months and like Matt Ryan hasn't thrown to Julio Jones for months and just think, bang, it's going to come back just like that. You have to have practice. I know Iverson didn't like practice, but you got to have some kind of practice. You got to get it in. So you're going to have to take at least a game for these guys to play with one another.
Hey, we're talking about practice, OG, not a game, not a game. Not the game I love. What you mean I am the MVP? OG, look, he's got a good point, man. The bottom of the roster, man. Look, they'll get longer time for camp. Maybe they're expecting things to be pushed back a little bit here. NFL's in a tough spot because they're trying to look ahead and also, worrying about the present as well.
I mean, just in the nature of sports, I mean, you got to be ready to take advantage of whatever opportunity you get. To prove that you belong on that roster. I mean, of course, I always hate to bring in the word fair or anything like that because, of course, a lot of times, it's not about what's fair. I mean, it's about you just being ready to seize the moment and show, like I said, prove that you deserve to be on the roster. And also, like what Derwin was saying, is that in 2 games, I'm thinking typically. The starters they normally play sometimes a quarter, 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Some may go in, into the third as you get later into
I was
that.
about to say that's usually the third game, the dress rehearsal.
Right.
Right. That's
into
right.
the third
But
quarter,
now you're looking at that second game is probably going to be a little bit more upbeat and looking to get back in rhythm, so to speak, as far as in game preparation. So young guys just going to have to be ready to make it happen, and it's definitely going to kind of show and prove who's been doing what with all this time off, and who's really been focused and staying ready.
That's a good point. And if you look at it, those 4 preseason games, about you chop the first one, that gives them an extra week of training camp and things of that nature. Chop the second one. So now you give them an extra week to sort of, evaluate the players before you get down to the 53. And then you're not playing those starters, into the third quarter, that last preseason game. And then you go into the regular season literally a week later. At least they get that extra week. So I could definitely see the schedule being laid out as such. We'll keep it in the National Football League, guys. Derwin just hit on the topic or the player in question here. Tom Brady, TB12. We were just talking about it, Derwin. I don't think he needs extra reps because he's already getting them in. He's already been cited by the police down in Tampa. We've got the video now. We'll show you some Skycam video from a chopper. Get to the chopper from the helicopter here, the chopper. And look, Brady at a high school field, pretty much with the entire offensive of the Bucks out there, Mike Evans and all those guys out there, Brady running a type ship. Yeah, well, your thoughts on this, man? The Bucks out there, and DeMaurice Smith coming out, I guess today or was it last night? Doesn't really like this. I know the Players Association had a doctor in last week. They urged and cautioned against working out during this pandemic. Brady said, "The hell with that, Derwin."
Yeah, I mean, Smith, he's worried about collective bargaining and
Sure.
setting himself up. We don't care about that. Let Tom Brady do what he's doing right now, because players got to get prepared. You got to practice. You have to be ready, and with all these sports going on with NBA, NHL, what kind of product are we going to have if these guys haven't been practicing, if they've just been sitting around and not really going through the fundamentals? So I understand where Smith is coming from, but as a player, you got to play. You have to practice. I have no problem with what Tom Brady is doing. I like the fact that he's out there. He's got a new team, new offense. He's never had really plethora of receivers like this before. Getting back on the same page
in a while. I would say. I would say 8 to 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't have the two studs at wide receiver he had in He
no,
didn't
not
have that
not two
New
studs.
England.
Well, I mean, he had Randy Moss, so he's had
A year
poor
with
guy.
Randy
Oh,
Moss.
yeah, he had him for 2.5, almost 3.
Yeah,
2.5.
Gronk.
Yeah.
Gronk is trying to get back into shape too. Last time we saw Gronk was like 40 pounds lighter. So
40 pounds heavier, actually. Yeah.
well, so even the Russell Wilsons, all these guys,
Yep.
I love to see quarterbacks.
That's your guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, work with the
He's
receivers.
nice. All right.
I'm gonna be upset if I'm watching a football game and Russell Wilson is sailing the ball over people's heads, something he normally doesn't do because he didn't practice. So I'm all for it. Let Smith handle the collective bargaining when it needs to be handled. Let players play.
Hey, OG, you heard it from Derwin. I think he's spot on, man. Look, I think from the NFL's perspective, you want to put it out there, and from the health experts, hey, be careful, social distance. We don't want you guys doing this, but understand these are alpha males, supreme athletes that are going to do whatever the hell they want to do. I don't know if you can sort of police this. It's not against the rules. He can work out on their own. They're at a high school facility. No coaches are around. How do you do it? It's almost like the tampering in the NBA. How do you tell boys not to talk about playing together? It just makes no sense.
Right. I mean, and it's not ironic that we're talking about Tom Brady. I mean, it's a reason why he is who he is, and definitely going into this season. I mean, it's kind of funny that we're talking about his work ethic and everything going into his, at this point in his career. We're talking about how much he's working out and what all he's doing, and I think, for some odd reason, I feel like he's probably going into this season with more to prove than all the other years that when they won Super Bowls. I mean, because I know he definitely wants to play well and show people that he can still do Tom Brady like things, and so he's definitely not chilling, and he's taking full advantage of whenever he can get some work in with his guys. So I think it's great, and like you said, I don't think it's nothing that they can stop or anything like that. I mean, these guys, obviously, they're ready to play football. They want to play football, and they're going to work out and train so they can be ready.
Yeah.
And
Just
also, one
go
other
ahead.
thing,
Go ahead, Daryl.
don't overlook what this shows as far as leadership. This
Yeah.
guy, Tom Brady, didn't go to Tampa sitting on his laurels and his Super Bowl rings. You know, he's setting an example that this guy in his 40s, he's coming down to Tampa. He could be sitting at home chilling with his kids or whatever. He's out there working no matter what.
Right.
He's out there practicing, and he brings the offensive guys in to work and practice, and he's setting a very good example. Guys are just going to follow that when the
I
season
think it'd be
starts.
what, 43 in August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think so. Yeah.
guys, he's an example for the locker room. They're going to follow and listen to anything that man says.
Yeah, that's a good point. And when you look at it, you know, you go back to the days in Foxborough, Massachusetts, playing with New England. Legendary stuff there. First one to get the practice, one of the last ones to leave. All the film work and study that he did was like the teammate of the year, workout warrior in the off season most of the time. Got the coveted parking spot when I was there, closest to the stadium, closest to the door and the offices there. OG, so legendary stuff from Tom Brady. Not surprised at all. If you're the NFL, what are you going to do? You're just going to tell everybody they can't practice. I mean, how are you going to navigate this? They can still get some private workouts in. There are ways to circumvent the rules. So I got no problem with it. I just hope everyone's safe. That's all we can really hope for. They're grown men.
Right.
Moving over to the National Basketball Association NBA schedule came out. What was that, Thursday, if I'm not mistaken? Thursday or Friday. NBA schedule came out. So those 8 lead-in games coming up. The national TV schedule, I believe, starts on July 30th, right? I believe the Lakers and Clippers are part of that triple header. I know the Pelicans play that night. What are your thoughts on this, guys? The schedule came out. Who are some of the winners and the losers? Looks like Lakers and Clippers. Lakers will be the number 1 seed. Clippers are what, 5.5 games back. They're not going to catch them. The East is where the action is, and then that 8th and 9th spot. Can Portland catch those guys without Trevor Ariza? The Grizzlies, the Pelicans, you know, and that 8, 9, 10 stuff, 7, 8, 9 battling there, and then out East, it's all about Celtics. It's all about Sixers, Milwaukee Bucks. It's about Raptors. Sixers, Heat, things of that nature, guys. What do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts on this with the NBA schedule coming out, Derwin?
Just kind of scanning through the schedule in the Western Conference. Just looking at it, the New Orleans Pelicans have the easiest schedule, 8-game schedule, and they're 3.5 games back. So
did you like that? It seems like the schedules were a little commensurate with whatever you had left and where you were, where we picked off, or where we need to pick up, and we left off back on March 11th.
Hey, like OG says, nothing fair. Life ain't fair. But I mean, you look at New Orleans, this, they got a shot to get to that 8th spot, get that 8th seed. And maybe if you're NBA, you want to see a Zion Williams in the playoffs, making a run. So it's going to be interesting. If you look at the Pelicans, Trailblazers, the Grizzlies are there. Even the Sacramento Kings are 3.5 out. So it's going to be a nice little race with 8 games to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, if you're somebody like the Kings, you're 3.5 back. You need to go 7-1 bare minimum to make any sort of noise, because you need to make up like 4 games in the loss column. So that's going to be tough there. OG, your thoughts on the NBA schedule releasing?
I mean, of course, the Clippers and the Lakers. Nobody's going to be disappointed about watching that matchup any and every time that it's on. And you've mentioned that the top teams in the East is going to be clashing. I think the Raptors have the tougher schedule out of those teams. And then you look at on the Western conference, you got like Memphis Grizzlies that's in they're battling in tough spot. But I think I looked over my Brooklyn Nets schedule, and I was
showed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely I think we're sitting pretty good. But the one thing that I what I always say is you have to be ready to play and beat who's ever in front of you. And at this point, like Derwin said, if people can complain about the remaining games and who they're playing, but at the end of the day, you have to go out and beat who's in front of you. And some teams early, you have to put in the work early. So you can kind of, some teams would have coast to the last stretch going into the playoffs. So now you have to strap up and be ready to go every night in order to get to the playoffs. So definitely, I'm looking forward. Like I said, the biggest winners of everybody is just us getting the NBA back.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest part about it. And like I said, the Clippers Lakers is going to be a show.
Well, only get it once in the first
Yeah.
8 lead-in game. So yeah.
And the Pelicans, I mean, anytime we can watch Zion, I mean, it's no disappointment there. So hopefully everybody's healthy and you know, be as safe as possible. I think a lot of this, I mean, hopefully teams and players have gained some advantages by being able to get healthy and get rid of some of those knick-knack injuries and different things like that, and everybody will be ready to make the best push.
All right, Durbin, your thoughts?
Well, everyone's going to be excited to see NBA basketball once again. And these 8 games coming up, pretty much tune-up games, preseason games, to try to help them get into shape. It's going to be real interesting when you look at the Lakers and you look at Memphis. They have the 4th toughest schedule between the two. So Memphis has to be on their P's and Q's and really play well. If not, they could lose that AC.
They're a young team. I think they get a little advantage in that they're a young team. So I think they might be able to bounce back quicker. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how the younger teams play out because you know, youth is kind of on their side.
Right.
So just hopefully they've been taking care of their bodies. I mean, the other aspect about it is them not being veteran-like teams, because you look at like the Lakers, like the veteran team, they've been working out, training, and they know what
workouts in Bel Air.
Yeah, they know what they need to do to stay on top of their game, which is the young guys. I mean, you know, who knows? But it's like I said, it's gonna be fun to watch.
You're a Nets man. They got the Bucks. They got the Celtics. Got a couple of games against the Wizards and the Magic. Those are the games they must win. I think the Nets are in, but you don't want to fall down to that 8 spot and basically have no shot against the Bucks. You want to play somebody like the Raptors or maybe even a Boston, somebody that maybe you can get a game out of at least, maybe 2, maybe make this thing interesting. I don't think they can beat any of those teams, but I think they could definitely push a Boston or somebody like that against Milwaukee. At best, it's a gentleman's sweep. So we'll see how that shakes out with the NBA schedule being released. But you're right, we got NBA basketball coming up. Do what, 3 weeks? A little less than 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks coming up. So should be exciting. All right, let's go. Keep it in the NBA. They had testing, and we saw some of the numbers that came out. You see 16 players test positive for coronavirus, COVID-19, and it's alarming. But out of over 300 players, about 5%, maybe 6. That's okay. Definitely want to be under 10%. Under 5 means, you're really doing well. So that means 95% of the players are healthy and symptom-free. A lot of these guys could be asymptomatic. We don't know about that according to this test. But your thoughts, guys, on, generalizing and generally speaking, just, the 16 players testing positive. And where does the NBA go from here? I know Adam Silver talked about they're not alarmed yet. Nothing is guaranteed. But the bubble right now potentially being the safest place to be than outside of the bubble. What say you, Derwin?
NBA is interesting because they're the only organization that's using this bubble system. I predict that in all the leagues, people are going to get it. I don't see any way around it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been popping up. What you don't want is it to just spread rampant to the league. You don't want to start this league up, and then all of a sudden it gets so bad you got to shut it down and just scrap the whole thing, which is possible. We don't know. We're in uncharted waters right now. We're trying to restart, but there's nothing saying that this is going to be successful. And I think in our minds, we feel like, if we're past it, it's going to be successful, but we just don't know. Even in the NFL, they haven't even restarted yet. And you see several teams, even in college, a lot of teammates have this coronavirus. So I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully the bubble, will help being isolated in one area, but we still don't know.
Yeah, OG. I mean, Derwin brings up a very valid point. Widespread, and that's the caution for the National Basketball Association right now. I think they're okay, right? Nationally speaking, we want around 5% or less. They're right around there. So right now, I think I would give them an okay. Not, I'm not, ecstatic about the numbers, but it's not widespread. There's no widespread panic or anything like that as we speak right now. So I think go ahead. Let's see how this works.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I mean, of course we've had deaths during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, 125,000. That's a lot of deaths.
And the thing, I think it's at times like 16 test positive out of hundreds, and like nothing has been. I think until we see a widespread or something critical, I think that'll be the time that the NBA panics or any other sports league organization panics. I mean, and I hate to say that. I mean, but that's how I feel since most leagues are trying to get back up and running. Is that I think they'll feel some type of comfort as long as nothing volatile happens because of it. And like Derwin said, they're the only ones really operating under the bubble system. So that's definitely going to be, I think, more of it should be a safer environment for the players and staff and all involved. And I think it'll be pretty much a good test run to see how successful it is and where a lot of other leagues go from there.
And
go ahead,
guys, can you imagine them without this bubble in the NBA with what's going on in Florida right now?
10,000 confirmed cases the other day. Broke a record earlier this week. Then they doubled it. Then they broke it again yesterday.
That's gonna be crazy. I don't know how you will get through a season.
But
so we gotta pray and hope that the bubble works. OG.
My thing is this though. Like, I mean, it's almost looking like, I mean, of course, COVID is here. Like, I mean, and like a lot of other diseases and viruses and different things like that, it's all. I guess some people are taking an approach like, well, we have to start learning to live with it. And I'm not saying that you get reckless
sure.
and don't practice
good
safe precautions, but it's here.
Yeah,
and it's like and even other things that other diseases and viruses that have vaccines and different things of that nature, they haven't disappeared.
No.
So I mean,
the problem is, OG, people they get concerned about the hospitals being overrun, and then you got an issue. I'm kind of torn. Right. I'm stuck in the middle because you're right. I was looking at a statistic the other day. 7,000 people died of other things the other day. 7,000 people just gone of other things. Can you shut down the economy that long? What are the safety measures? What are the precautions we can take? It's a tough one. Look, the economy should always take a back seat to the health of our people. But what's enough? I don't know what it is. I think, like I said, maybe we should have just been frank with people in February and said, shut it down till about June. We need 3 or 4 months. You guys do nothing and just pay everybody. Take care of everybody. Everything is taken. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get people to
I
not
agree.
go
outside. I agree.
Because you can't tell people they can't go outside. I mean, and most of our people are on the front line. That's the problem I have.
Yeah, the other thing about it is that you have a lot
of people. And
we're
the ones dying, by the way, at a higher rate.
Yeah, you have a lot of people who work to be able to receive medication and different things like that. And I know, I mean, a lot of people that went unemployed or anything like that may struggle to receive benefits to keep their health, up to par and different things of that nature. So it's all, I understand like the fear and the panic of the pandemic, but at the same time, like you said, there are people dying from other things, and that can't be overlooked neither. And a lot of it can be due to the lack of not being able to provide proper care for themselves and other people that they may be serving as a caretaker to those people. I mean, so it's like things can't be forgotten. I mean, it's still people dying from pneumonia and a lot of different other things. And like I said, I mean,
heart disease, the heart disease, diabetes, you name it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
car accidents.
I was about to say, on top of that, murder and everything else, like
alcohol, DUI.
Yeah. So it's like it's of course the new thing that I mean is current and everything, and I a lot of times I've backed off from talking about it because if you say one thing that people don't like, they look at you as if you think it's not real or anything like that.
And we're not going there. No.
Yeah, it's not. That's not the case. It's just like we've dealt with things and we've had to get used to living with them, with the vaccine or without. Because the one question I used to always pose to people is that a lot of people are opposed to taking a vaccine. So if that's the case, what you shouldn't be? You shouldn't be in fear now. I mean,
I don't take the flu. I don't take the flu vaccine myself.
Never did it. Never will. No flu shot for me.
Fight it. Fight it. Fight it. I'm a fighter, man. Fight it.
All right. I mean, so
yeah, Derwin, go ahead and finish this up before we get to Vince Carter.
I just, people got to be smart. Just think, I don't necessarily think about myself. I think about my son, think about my wife, because I'm a fighter. And I think
Right.
about how would I feel if I didn't wear a mask, I didn't use
Sure.
precaution, and I came home and I gave something to them who
And
might not
I
be.
think that's the key. That's pretty much all we can do. Wear a mask,
Yeah,
try to social distance as much as possible.
right.
The days of us just sitting in the house, I don't know, man. I think they're gone. I don't know. How do you, Derwin, how do you tell someone don't go outside and they are not financially as stable as you are? How do you do that?
Well, where are they working? Maybe where they're working is
Some
not
people can't
open.
stay at home. Some people can't. Yeah, exactly. Some people can't stay at home. It's tough. That's what I'm saying. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a plan yet that addresses that. I get it. You want to be, it's a pandemic. It affects us all. We're interconnected here.
Hmm.
The health of our people always will outweigh the economy. I'm not like one of these Trump guys. Oh, open up the economy. I don't
Right.
believe in science. So I believe in science, but I also believe in reality too.
Hmm.
So, what do you say to those people that have to work? I've never gotten a good answer from that. And I think
Well,
the only answer you can get is you might want to start by saying, everybody, all of us, here's $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Maybe that'll do it. Take 3 to 4 months off. Here you go. But it needs to
but
be a real number. It
this,
can't be $1,200.
right,
It needs to be a real
right.
number that people can pay their bills.
But this country doesn't do stuff like that.
No, we don't.
So,
That's
you know,
socialism.
yeah,
That's
we don't do
socialism.
stuff like that. I see other countries, Canada. I have
Yeah.
a childhood friend. We've been brothers for years. Guy was in my wedding. He moved to Sweden over 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And he's like, Derwin, and out here it's like a totally different animal. It's like they get maternity leave for men. You
Yeah.
know, it's just totally different. He said we don't have the stress of worrying about healthcare.
Yeah.
You don't have that stress and that worry. But here it's like, for whatever reason, we can't do
Business.
some of the other things that the other
Capitalism at its
countries do.
finest. Everything is you can make a dollar off of every industry in this country.
And that's why
Everything.
some people feel like, even
Yep.
with the sports, that the owners care more about money than they do
Absolutely.
about the players' health, because
Absolutely.
money, cash rules everything around me. You know,
Cream
taking
gets
the
the
Wu-Tang.
money. Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah,
All right.
reference. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of money, this guy's made a lot of it in the NBA. What is Vince Carter? 41, 42? He's over 40, right? Played in the NBA, what, 22
Yeah.
years? The only player to play in 4 decades. Dunk
Wow.
champ, all around great guy. Got to meet his father in Daytona Beach. He grew up there when I was in Orlando. Great family. Just unbelievable. Cousins with Tracy McGrady. Fantastic hops. And when you look at it, I saw this picture on Twitter the other day. He's the only guy that still in the NBA that was in the Nintendo 64 video game.
Yeah. He's the
So,
last player. He's the last player.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked like somebody said he looked like Serge Ibaka, and it did a little bit. Actually,
mm,
it did just a little bit. But yeah, just talk about the exploits, man, and just the tremendous career of Vince Carter, man, Vinsanity, man, rocking the number 15 jersey, man, from North Carolina, and just I've seen and heard so many legendary stories of this guy dunking on everybody. And then,
right.
of course, remember the Olympics when he dunked over the guy. We're showing that now.
Cedric Weiss.
Yeah. There you go.
The Dutchman, the pastry guy.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I'm a Tar Heel fan. I love Vince Carter. You got to think about it, man. Who would have thought he would have played this long? That's a tremendous career.
4 decades. I think he's the only player in the league to do that. What is that?
Man.
90s, the 2000 other knots from
Uh-huh.
2010 to 20, and then I guess he got it technically into 2020. I guess that's how they're counting it, right?
Yeah. He just, my hat's off to him. Tremendous career. Slam dunk champion. Crazy hops. Played with several teams. Never really, and don't remember him ever being in trouble. Role model, good citizen. He did it the right way, and he's had a great career. And he, hats off to him.
Played with a lot of different organizations, man, from Toronto to Atlanta, the New Jersey Nets, you name it, all those teams that he played with, Ivan, OG. A lot of guys like him, very likable in the association amongst his peers.
Yeah, I mean Vince Carter. I mean it's half man, half amazing. I mean it's nothing. I don't like. It's a lot of players that you can think about in the NBA that when you say their name, like it may have a little bit of spice to it or whatever negatively, but like Vince Carter, like when you hear his name and when you think about him, everything is good and great. Like you think about his smile, you think about obviously the dunks that will probably never be duplicated. I mean, it's just it's great to see him go out under his own terms. I mean, he came in the game dunking. He's leaving out the game still with the ability to dunk. I mean, and I think what really created a way for him to play so long is that, you know, he started knocking down jump shots, and he really added a lot to his game later in his career.
Sweet looking jump shot too.
Yeah, that allowed him to be, you know, not only productive, but he, you know, a mentor. I mean, a lot of people looked up to Vince Carter. I mean, he changed the game. Definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, even without having a championship or anything like that. But he done a lot of great things for the NBA, and definitely gonna be you know, remembered every time that the dunk contest comes around and different things of that nature. But this hats off to Vince Carter for a great career, and can't wait to see him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and Coach K, Kevin Ware is going to be calling in any minute now. I'll be on standby for that. I read something, I heard something the other day. I don't know if you guys remember this, but when he won the dunk contest, I think he was wearing and ones. A lot of people forget that. He wasn't with Nike at the point. He won in some and ones when he was, you know, cuffing the rim and things of that nature. You know, putting his elbow over the rim and all that stuff. So and ones. How crazy is that? That's a Vince Carter story for you. It's like going out there with some Chuck Taylors and winning the dunk contest. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he had his shoe. His shoe when he finally did get his shoe, it wasn't flashy or anything like that. I know I was reading on Twitter, somebody was saying, "Man, when I purchased these things, I thought I was going to be able to jump out the gym like Vince." You know, that obviously didn't happen. But I mean, it's just like I said, a lot of moments. Definitely, he's going to be legendary on 2K for years and years and years. But like I said, it always was great to watch. I mean, and he just did everything the right way. Like Derwin said, you can't think of anything negative to say or related to Vince Carter.
Absolutely. All right, so let's do this, guys. Let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. You're watching Esports Extra here live on Twitch, on Mixer, and on Facebook, on YouTube as well, Larry Ridley for SNY, NBC Sports, a little NBA 2K Madden NFL. We got Ivan OG King Kurt on here, NBA 2K League's Brooklyn Nets GM and head coach, and also Derwin Worrell, fellow indie sportscaster in ABJ as well. 877-853-5247. Meeting ID Esport Extra. I hit the pound button twice to join the show. Let's go to the phone lines now and bring in a good friend of ours. I got to meet him doing the Tech for COVID, former college hooper at the Ville, or as they like to say in Louisville, DeVille, because I'm from the Ville, which is Nashville. Kevin Ware, good afternoon to you, man. You down in hot Atlanta?
Hey, what's up, Larry? Yeah, I'm here in the A.
Okay, baby. All right, good stuff, man. How are you down there, man? Are you staying safe, man? Everything good? Because, you know, Georgia's open and it's wild down there.
Yeah, they out of pocket out here right now. You know, everything opening back up. You'd think it's really summer, but no, it's. I think the cases and stuff are starting to go back up, so they should be shutting stuff down. I got a son anyway, so I can't really be doing much.
Yeah, I definitely saw you. You know, on Twitter, I see you do a lot with your son. So definitely props to you, man, being a good father. Let's talk to. Let's talk to you about the NBA, man. I want to get your thoughts since you played high level basketball in the pros as well. Got a good head on your shoulders. Clips and Lakers, as we look at this NBA reboot, want to get your thoughts. Who has the easier schedule, and who do you think will come out of the West? We know about the Lakers, secret workouts in Bel Air at that mansion from the LA Gear Fitness CEO, Steven Jackson. We got the Clippers. I think they got a better coach. They got PG. They got Kawhi. Who do you like coming out of the West in the NBA?
I mean, honestly, I got to go with the King. You know, I can't go against what LeBron was doing this year. I kind of feel bad going against my Trez. That's my bro. Paul George has always been like my second or third favorite, but I think it's just too much in LA. I know a lot of people were saying with Avery Bradley not playing, that would probably hurt us, but I think Avery Bradley sat maybe like 13 games and they were like 11-2 or something like that. So I like the Lakers or I like Houston. That's my sleeper team. Houston is loaded. And they got all this rest right now. You know, Russ rested, James rested. It ain't gonna be no smart for James coming out right now. So it's such a short season, you never know, honestly.
So you're not a big believer in the Clips. You don't think they can at least get to that Western Conference Finals? Look, I don't think they can catch the Lakers. They're about 5.5 games back. But you like
I mean, for
Houston?
sure, but it depends on Kawhi's health. It depends on him and PG playing together well or not. I mean, they're going to basically milk that pick and roll with LeBron and whoever the small guard is, either Patrick Beverly or Lou Will. That's going to be the game plan. So I just don't see them stopping that, honestly.
Good point. Here live on esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports. 877-853-5247 is the number. Hit the meeting ID esportsXTRA. 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. We're talking to Kevin Ware, national champion at Louisville, plays professionally overseas as well. Get your thoughts, Kevin, on the East. Which of those teams in the East do you like? Do you like the Celtics? Do you like the Bucks, Raptors, Sixers, Pacers? Who do you like out there on the East?
Man, the Raptors really surprised me because I know a lot of their guys were hurt during the year and they played well. I want to say they're still top in the conference. The Clippers, not the Clippers, but the Celtics kind of gelled really well too. Kemba and the young boys, Jason Tatum, playing really well, and Jaylen Brown. But I don't see nobody getting past Giannis, man. It's just too much. That's a force. And, he got a lot of help over there with Eric Bledsoe, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Pat Connaughton. They got a lot of good guards. George Hill, the list keeps going. So I think in the East, it'll either have to be the Bucks or the Celtics, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Celtics, how they have the fourth best odds to win it all. I like what Boston has done. They're going to be healthy for the first time. I think they're starting five. I think they might have the best starting five, at least in the East, and definitely one of the top 2 or 3 starting fives. They've only played together, I believe, 15 games all season. So they're healthy at the right time. Let's get your thoughts
on. And they got a great coach.
Absolutely. Brad Stevens, great, bright young mind. You're absolutely correct with that. Want to go back in time about 7 years ago. You played at the University of Louisville, the Cards, played under Rick Pitino, DeVille, the Derby City in Louisville. Great college career. Of course, we remember you from the NCAA tournament and the crucial and the horrific injury that you suffered. Just go back to that time. How were you able to overcome that? And just how surreal was that for you, seeing that you were on national TV and your leg in the shape that it
was in? It sucked, honestly. That was barely, that's when my name finally started popping up on the draft boards and everything, getting a lot of pub for how good I was playing with Russ and Payton at the time. And getting hurt, that's the only thing. I've never regretted or questioned God or nothing like that, but that's probably the only thing I ever really regretted, just getting hurt at the time that I did all the time, and the stress that I was putting on my body to get hurt then. It was a great cause. We still won the national championship. That's what always mattered to me. But it was just like, man, I wanted to be beating, Michigan, Wichita State. I wanted to get those opportunities too. But, beating Duke, that was good enough. That was the start.
Sure. And how were you able to, sort of persevere like we talked about? You ended up finishing at Georgia State, had a great career down in Atlanta at Georgia State. I believe, what were you, the conference player of the year, or at least player of the year in the conference tournament? Talk about your career at Georgia State, how you did overcome, and you came back and still played very well.
Yeah, me moving back home, I kind of feel like that helped my mental a lot. Being around my mother, my sisters, my nieces, I got a lot of family here. It was just kind of felt like high school all over again. I was also playing hero that went to the University of Kentucky before he transferred to Georgia State. Mm-hmm. And it felt like at home. I felt like I was getting back to my old self, and that kind of got my confidence to where I was able to get offers overseas. Because I kind of feel like if I would have stayed at Louisville, it was just too much. Not girly girl, but like, oh, is he okay? Oh, you fell? Oh, not. Just like, I'm not that kind of guy,
I hear you, man. Well, you definitely did some good stuff going from Louisville to Georgia State. Let's talk about your pro career you were just mentioning. I believe you played a little bit in Greece. Did you play in France as well? Tell us about your career overseas and what you've been able to do the last couple of years. And what are you doing right now to sort of continue that basketball career, or have you given that up, or are you going to do some gaming now? Because I know you're a bad boy on those sticks, man.
Nah, gaming stuff is just, in the free time, all this free time I got right now. But the past 4 seasons I've been playing professionally. I went Finland, Czech Republic, Greece, Canada, I'm pretty sure I'm missing somewhere else, but I don't think I can tell you where I'm going yet. My agent would have a heart attack, but I'm still playing. We still got things lined up. I'll be hitting the road real soon. I can't say that. I'm really excited about this year. I kind of feel like this would be the really big year for me, to really have options to see what I want to do next year. If the NBA is finally an option, if I play as good as I am this year, that's really my goals right now, the mindset, just working as hard as I am right now.
Well, we've been talking about this a lot with the NBA players. We talked about LeBron just a minute ago with the secret workouts in the gyms. A lot of players we talked to Robert Covington recently. They've been doing some workouts as well. What's it like for professional basketball, trying to get ready, work out, the access to gyms? How's it been for you? And what do you know about some of these other guys? I know you got some friends in the association running around and plus your agent in those inner circles. What's going on with the pro basketball players?
It's easy here in Atlanta to get in the gym. Like I was saying, everything's open. So, we can get our conditioning, our lifting in. And one of my best friends is a trainer in a high school coach out here for Tucker High School. So we're always locked in where he has great work. I usually try to get it in as much as possible.
Good stuff. And before I let you go, Kevin, we always ask all of our guests, all the pro players, what sort of games are they playing? Now, I did something with you on Tech for COVID, and you were tremendous with that. Saw you play some Call of Duty. What are some of your favorite games in the past, and what's the game that you're playing right now? And how much streaming are you doing?
I try to stream as much as possible. I know it really consists of like 2K or Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. I just got the Last of Us 2, so I haven't been able to play that yet, but I heard it's a pretty good one, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. Older games, I was big on like Nintendo 64s, like the Mario Party and Super 64, a lot of those games, Cruising the World. But I've literally, man, every system I've probably had it, honestly, from GameCube, Dreamcast to Xbox One, to the Sega Genesis. Sonic was another favorite. I had just about every game.
Sure. Hey, I'm going to be in Atlanta next month, dude. We got to hook up. I'm doing a Madden and NBA 2K tournament. They're doing this huge esports.
Oh, yeah, sign me up for both.
But dude, sign up. Hey, I'm going to send you the link. I want you to sign up for the Extra Life NBA 2K. And dude, you can win like $1,000. You should rule that bracket and play.
Oh yeah, it's easy money.
Easy money. So I'm gonna send you the link. Sign up for it. I think the online qualifier is July the 13th and 14th, so in 2 weeks. So I'll get you the link. Make sure you sign up for it, and then you'll play live. It's all virtual. You don't even have to leave your home, dude.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect, man. I appreciate it.
I got you, bro. Hey, man, I really appreciate you rocking out with us, man. Definitely call in anytime you want to talk, man, and we'll be reaching out again to you in the future to get you back on the show, man. Good luck to you. Hopefully you stay healthy. Good luck to that beautiful baby that you have. Now, good luck with the rest of your pro career, dude. I hope to see you in the NBA, man, and Godspeed, brother. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a good one.
All right, brother. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. That is the great Kevin Ware Jr., former Louisville basketball player, played at Georgia State, also played overseas with a bunch of other teams. Doing some good stuff. Won a national championship in 2013 with the Louisville Cardinals. I said it, guys. Louisville likes to call themselves DeVille, but it's actually the Ville is Nashville. So I always say you got to say duh, like D-A, when you say Louisville, and then for Nashville, it's the T-H-E. So your thoughts on Kevin Ware, man? I remember that very vividly, dude. What was it, in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8? It was one of those two. And we were trying to find pictures last night, and a lot of them were just too graphic. We didn't really want to show them, so we just tried to show, just him on the ground and things of that nature, and other shots of him cutting down the nets as well. So we did get to experience that, but that was tough, man, to see him go through that on national TV, but to see him bounce back, that's pretty damn awesome. Your thoughts, D-Dubs?
Yeah, man. I mean, that sucks. He hit it right on the head. It just really sucks. You're a young kid. You're playing on the national stage, big games. And see,
one of the best players on the top team. Yeah.
And then have that happen to you. It makes me think of was it the guy that the Bearcats that played for the Nets? That happened. Same thing happened to him.
Kenyon Martin.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, but he bounced back. Yes.
Bounced back. Yes. But to see the guy resilient to overcome that, come back home with his family and finish up at Georgia State. That's a beautiful thing, and still continue play overseas. I know plenty of guys that play overseas, still playing the game that they love,
Hey,
At least
six
he still
figures
got a
and
national
sometimes $1 million
championship.
overseas. So it's just some good
Yeah,
money. And you don't pay for
yeah.
anything, so it's all free.
Right, right. You know, I know some guys that play overseas in Italy, all these other places. They get
Yeah.
paid well. Some of them say they get paid better than maybe playing here in the States. And they're like rock stars over there too, as well. So I'm happy for the young man. You know, he's around family right now. He's still able to play the game that he loves, and he says that he's, you know, agents working on some things. Who knows? Maybe in a year or two, he might be in the National Basketball Association coming up.
Yeah, good stuff. Your thoughts, OG?
No, it was definitely that was something like I had never seen before. And that's the one thing about me, whether it's my favorite team or my least favorite team or anything like that, I always wish good health and no injury, if possible. We know that's a part of the game in any sport, but to watch that the way we did, and then to see him bounce back definitely was a good thing. I mean, it was like you said. I know it sucked because had to be rising on the draft board and have to go through something like that. But definitely, was good. I was a big Rick Pitino fan. Obviously, I was upset when he left UK, but
Sure.
but yeah, it's just great to see that he's doing well and everything like that, and and just good luck to him and whatever he does from here on out.
Yeah, and I got to speak with him a few weeks ago, man. He's doing some really good things. The video gaming, he's pretty good. Like I think he had like the top one or two teams in the Call of Duty. He played in the celebrity thing that my buddies at the NFL alumni did out at ESTV, Amon Green and those guys, and Eric Yoon and Brock Vereen, Shane Vereen, Eric Davis and those guys, Aaron Beasley. So he's doing some good things. I wish, man, if he can just get a shot, get into camp, and get to experience being in the NBA because he was probably robbed of that. If he doesn't
Yeah.
tear it like wreck his leg, literally wreck it and rip it into shreds, the lower half of his leg, he probably gets at least a shot in the NBA. Because like I said, he was one of
Oh
the
yeah,
top two or three players on the top team in the NCAA. So we're all rooting for Kevin Ware. Any last thoughts before we move on to Coach K?
nah,
I mean,
definitely would have got a shot, and
Yeah.
we're rooting for him.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I'm a Rick Pitino big fan of his, and definitely he would have gotten a shot playing the Louisville national
Yeah.
championship team. But that kind of coach, somebody would have given him an opportunity. So that part of it sucks, and hopefully, he'll get a shot someday.
Yeah, and I was in Lexington, Kentucky when Tricky Ricky got there. Rick Pitino's Bambinos is what we used to call him back in the day. So graduated from Lexington, Kentucky in Rupp Arena in 1994, June 8th, 1994. I never forget that. So those Kentucky teams, man, I'm still to this day Kentucky Wildcat fan because of that. And my mom, getting her PhD there. So I'm always a closet Big Blue fan. We used to call it the blue mist or the blue dust because when they travel, they're everywhere. Speaking of Blue Devils, Coach K, a very powerful message that he had that was posted to the I believe it was the Duke men's basketball Twitter account is where I first saw it. He did this 2 or 3 minute video, talked about the importance of fighting for social justice, racial equality, um, just equality in our social justice system, and the biggest thing, Black Lives Matter. And he was very poignant in those comments, very direct, looking into the camera. Good for Coach K. Seemed like it was genuine. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was very powerful. Your thoughts, D Dubs?
You want the faces of programs to say it. You want them to stand up and lead the charge. And it's powerful when the most recognizable coach in college basketball, with one of the best programs in college basketball, stands up and says it. That's a big deal. And when I watched that, and I don't know if you saw the one that Alabama did, the football team did. If you watch both of those, the one thing that stood out to me after I watched Coach K was that, Alabama did a video, very powerful video, but Nick Saban didn't say it. And that stood out to me. So it's coming from Coach K, NCAA, basketball, college basketball. That's very powerful to have him from Duke University stand up and say those words.
Not bad. Speaking, that our vice president won't say it. What say you, Ivan Curtis?
Yeah, I mean,
or our president.
I've been probably the biggest Duke hater since '92.
I was there,
Me
Christian
too.
Laettler. I remember the shirts we had in Lexington. It had Duke, D-U-K-E, and the E and the D's crossed out.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
I was back in the
mean,
day.
but a lot can be said about Coach K, but I think this one it kind of it, it, it was powerful to me because it's been mentioned time and time again that a lot of the powerhouse Division I schools and teams are benefiting off of the athletes that look like all of us, and for him to make a stand and speak up for it. And I like the wording that was used more than anything is that Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It's a statement for humanity, and I think if I don't see why that's so hard for people to look at it like that,
Sure.
and unless you just don't want change, and just to see because Coach K is not like his presence is what we relate to. He's not vigilant all the time. Like he's not in front of our TV screens all the time, or you don't always hear him in everything. But so to see that, I thought it was great, and it's not gonna make me a Duke fan, but it's definitely it definitely made me honor Coach K a lot differently. Outside the rims of just basketball. I mean, because he knows that he recruits numerous 5-star players that are Black, and
Sure.
you have to, if you can recruit them to come to your school and produce for you, you definitely should be able to stand up and speak out and protect them.
You look at the top two coaches, I think, visibly in the NCAA. Coach K for sure, and your boy John Calipari. John Calipari's done a lot. I had all the a lot of celebrities and African Americans on his. I think he does a Facebook show, and he's out there pushing it. So good to see these leader of men. The highest paid guys in their state, public figures in their state from public universities that you get to see receiving public money. So absolutely good stuff for Coach K. Very powerful. I like the way it was lit. It had a serious tone to it for a damn serious issue. So I was all aboard on that. Let's move to the diamond Major League Baseball. We talked about it. Let's play. They're going to play ball. Opening day is coming. It's fast approaching. Likely July 23rd. It looks like now. We were hearing the 24th. Definitely that weekend. Looks like our reports yesterday that opening day will be July 23rd. It'll be the defending world champs, the Nationals hosting the Pinstripers, the Yankees, July 23rd. So that means you're going to get Garrett Cole, $320-something million, against, Scherzer, Max Scherzer, who's probably one of the top 2 or 3 pitchers in all of Major League Baseball, probably definitely top 3. So you're going to have 2 of the top 3 pitchers going head to head. Well, not really going head to head, but at least dealing on the same mound opening day, July 23rd, guys. You excited about this? Nats getting their rings against the Yankees. Can't get much better than that if you're down in D.C.
No, most definitely. I'm looking forward to it. My biggest question is what kind of baseball are we going to see? With pitchers, are the breaking balls
It's going to be a juiced one. You know why? Because they got to get the fans back. That thing's going to be juiced. They're going to pour some OJ in that damn thing.
They might not even have to.
And they might get Orenthal James, the whole other OJ throughout the first pitch.
No, I don't know about that. But they might not even have to juice it because if baseball, if your curveball is not breaking, your slide is not sliding, that ball is straight, it's going to leave the ballpark fast. Right. So we're going to see how see where these pitchers are at. Are they going to be behind the 8 ball or are they going to have their A game? We don't know. But that's a very good matchup. Scherzer is a bulldog. He's a tough pitcher. Mm-hmm. He's the kind of guy you want him to take the ball to lead the charge. So Pinstripes, that's my squad. So playing against the Washington Nationals, the defending champs, is definitely going to be one to watch.
OG baseball is back. We're talking about 2 of the top 3 pitchers. Throw in Jacob deGrom, last 2 Cy Young awards for the New York Metropolitans here in New York. Of course, a home at SNY. Your thoughts? Nats, Yanks in DC.
Hey, let's play ball.
Let's do it.
It just adding to the menu of sports that'll be going on all around a similar time. So it's great to see. Definitely, I agree with you. It's got to be some added excitement here or there. So it's definitely, I think, is going to be juiced. And like Derwin said, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see. Like I think in all of sports, just to see what quality
Yeah,
play
where they're at.
get.
Exactly,
Like
where they're at.
yeah, so I'm sure baseball enthusiasts are ecstatic, and I know I'll definitely be tuned in here or there. Like I said, I've been a long time Yankee fan, so I'll definitely be tuned in here and there when I can catch a break. But welcome back baseball.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
So go ahead, go ahead.
and also one other point is that baseball is not like some of these other sports like basketball. You can find if you have a hoop in the net, you can pretty much practice anywhere.
There's only so much throwing on the side you can do with your
Man,
kid and your wife as a pitcher.
Nobody has a mound in their backyard if you're a pitcher, really, to
Right.
throw off of. So that's going to be an adjustment. So we're going to really see where some of these guys are at in the next couple of weeks.
All right, let's go from the field to a very serious topic, guys. We've seen the Me Too movement over the last few years, and now we're starting to see it in our industry that we're all a part of now, esports. We saw a lot of young ladies come out with stories over the last week or two. Stories, scary stories, to be honest with you and be frank. Assault, harassment, and even rape in some cases. Want to support all of those young ladies, and we're going to dive into this. We also saw Dr. Disrespect as well over the last couple of days, banned permanently from Twitch. No one knows why. There's some theories out there. I'm not going to get into them. I don't really know the guy. I know the name in this industry. I know that he's got 1.5 million followers on Twitter, 4 million subs on YouTube. Look, literally, you could say he's probably the top 1 or 2 or 3 streamers on Twitch. And for them to permanently ban him, that speaks volumes, Derwin, and they're not telling us why. There's something going on there. And back to the story of the young ladies, all of these women out here with these guys and a lot of these powerful figures, streamers, YouTubers, administrators, people working for organizations and orgs all over, people working for publishers. It's pretty nasty out there, Derwin. We got to put a stop to this, guys, and we got to treat these ladies a lot better. Not saying who's right and who's wrong, but if the lady feels that way, it probably needs to be addressed. I'll let you guys take the floor on this very important topic that we're about to dive into.
We're living in a day and age where respect is such a big thing. Mm-hmm. You got to respect the women with something I see that we don't do enough, not enough respect. I think we lose fact of I would say this is someone's sister, someone's auntie, someone's mother. You have to treat the ladies with respect. Someone's daughter, you got to treat them right, I got a 6-year-old boy, and I'm always telling him from yay big, I've been telling him ladies first. Yep. When he's at the playground, he about to get on a slide. He want to slide. I said, nope, let the girls go first. I make him wait. And he gets used to that. Even opening the door and things of that nature. We've lost our way, some of us, when it comes to respect and how we treat women. And for Twitch to do what they did their own social distancing from, you don't want to get caught up in no kind of nonsense like that that's going to make your company look bad. Not with the Me Too movement.
Seems like it's a little more than just an allegation because, and you look at the last part of his stream, it was a little discombobulated. You could tell something was coming down the pike because he looked a little out of it.
Yeah. You got to do the right thing. And too often, especially with some of the younger generation, we're not seeing our young men do the right thing. And some of it is that they were not taught when they were coming up to do the right thing. So it's a catch-22. I think as a parent, we have to do better. Mm-hmm. We have to groom our kids from yay big, from when they're small. And if we do that, we can have a better society.
We saw Dr. Disrespect. We heard from his wife. She responded. We saw him respond, I believe, was it yesterday or today? One of the two. He talked about firm handshakes. I believe that's like his little catchphrase or something like that for everybody. That's pretty much. He just said he was banned. He doesn't know why. No one's saying anything, and that always gets my attention when you don't see anything, and it's swift action preceding it. They don't usually have swift action most of the time, OG, unless there was something major that happened here.
Yeah, I mean, first, I'd like to, my heart goes out to any, the women that have been violated. It's unfortunate. You hate to hear it. You always hate for people to abuse their celebrity or their power in any given situation. I mean, I have, of course, me being in esports, I have a strong admiration for a lot of content creators, whether it's male or female.
But you do a good job of promoting the ladies, especially in the 2K community. I've seen that, and that's one thing that I learned and love about
Yeah, thank you. I mean, because it's vital. I mean, we argue and fight and scrap and claw for diversity and inclusion in everything, and especially esports. So, I wouldn't say I'm a Dr. Disrespect fan, but I've definitely admired, watching him stream and
you. Yeah, the
his
hustle.
content
Yeah,
and
you
different
respect the
things.
hustle.
Yeah, and it's always now the awkward thing about it for me is Twitch not giving a reason, but then also him stating that he doesn't know why, and then most
And
times,
then insiders knowing they're hearing why, but they say they can't say anything. I'm like, what the hell is
exactly.
that?
Legal.
But the
Yeah,
other part,
that tells you it's serious.
but
Yeah.
this the thing that gets me is like most of the time when we're guilty of something, we know it before it even becomes public. So the twist of it to me is for somebody to come out and say they don't know why. Um, that's always it's always a funny side to be on, because typically when you violate or do anything that you're not supposed to do, and I mean, this is not like some kid we're talking about. Like, we're talking about a grown man. That if he's made any type of mistake, I would like to think that he, kind of has some recognizance about it. So, man, I really can't wait to see what happened, because I think a lot of times it's like, I know people like to be nosy, and they
People are
just anxious.
speculating.
Yeah, they just anxious. But my thing is to let
I hear
people.
stuff about minors and stuff like that, which is like, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, my biggest thing about it is when people do wrong is that we need the awareness to be spreaded, because you have content creators as young as 12, 13
Sure.
coming up, and they need to know that certain things are not okay
Be
and it won't be
professional. That's the
tolerated.
problem. You're not in mom's basement. And that's Coach K knows this. That's the one thing I always say. We ain't in mom's basement. I'm not a part of anything that looks like we're in mom's basement, because I'm not a video game creator. I don't care about video games. I'm just being honest. I'm in the industry, but I'm not into it like that. I know that most of the people outside of our little bubble don't give a damn about video games. So you need to meet them where they're at. And they're not into that. They're not into seeing somebody just sit there, play video games, and talk like that. So you got to present it to
Right.
them a certain way. And that's what I'm about. I love the industry and I love the community. I love what it can do. I love how it can bring us all together. But we ain't playing video games in mom's basement. Now we're going to be professional. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be a little more loose than we are, on television and things of that nature. But we want to rope in the people that will never give us a shot. And that's always been my goal. Go for the masses, broadcast, not narrowcast. And I think too many people in our industry, they narrowcast. And it's like, okay, you'll be stuck in your little bubble. I don't care how much money Twitch is paying you. You're in your little
No,
bubble, and nobody will ever know who you are. Good
I
luck.
agree. I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, and like I said, just I want this situation to spread awareness, and let people know that you're not above uh, of being incriminated. I mean, and definitely the younger streamers and content creators need to know that. They need to see it. I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of times things get overlooked depending on who the person is and how much celebrity and power that they possess. But hopefully, this wakes up a lot of people, and it prevents anything that we don't know what happened, but it can
Sure.
prevent things happening in the future, so we won't have to keep revisiting these unwanted and sometimes unnecessary topics.
Yeah, real quickly in the chat, Dana OS. Yeah, this is a live show. It's not a television show, but thank you. That's a compliment. That's what I want it to look like. This is a show that we stream live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Real quickly, D Dubs, your thoughts, man? On yeah, just look. Twitch hasn't said anything. They've dropped the
Right.
hammer on this guy. I think we got our answer.
Well, yeah, I think maybe because of legal issues that are going to come forward, this is not over. Whatever it is, we probably have not seen the end of this. And Twitch did what they had to do to rid themselves of whatever the situation was. And if whoever the young lady is or young ladies, I'm pretty sure, especially in the times that we live in, this is not over. This
Haven't
probably
heard
gonna be
any.
some.
Have you, OG? Haven't heard anyone call him out directly? Have you? I have not.
No, I haven't
That's why
seen
this is
or heard
strange.
any. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's like you would think of something this significant, like
Because if his
something.
name would have been said, he's the biggest name of all that I've been heard bantied about.
Right.
Never heard anything yet about that.
Yeah, I don't. What would cause or Twitch to? This guy has a huge following,
Huge.
which is beneficial to Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not gonna cut off their money
They're
for
not going to
nothing.
nose to spite their face, huh?
No, they're not gonna do that. So you would think someone with common sense would say, this is something major that they had to get away from and distance themselves. Yeah. So like I said, I don't think this story is over at all.
All right, guys, we'll definitely keep an eye on this. I reached out to a person, a friend of ours of the show that definitely came out this past week and talked about her experiences of being, harassed, assaulted or propositioned, if you will. She was going to try to come on the show. It hasn't worked out. Maybe we'll get her on maybe this week and try that. I'll keep reaching out. And I'm mad as hell that Renee's not here and Tiara couldn't be here as well. She could just join us on the phone. I wanted a female voice and perspective on this. I never like when it's a bunch of damn guys talking about issues that, affect women. That's why
I agree.
Our politicians talking about abortion. Shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. That's a woman's issue. You can have your thoughts on it. Let them deal with it. I mean, I don't like these old white men talking about women's issues. And I don't like us to sit around and, sort of bandy this about and sort of dive into
speaking on things that we don't experience.
Exactly.
Like,
it makes no sense. Like, I don't want to hear, white people saying, oh, it can't be that tough being black. Huh? Really? How do you know?
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, hopefully that's something that, and let's stay on this, guys. If you guys know some people, especially OG, maybe we can get somebody in the gaming community, maybe NBA 2K. I'm going to reach out to our friend again, who definitely had a huge platform and had a lot of traction on this. I'm not going to say her name now, but I want to get her on the show. Let's see if we can do that for tomorrow or definitely Thursday to talk more about this. All right, let's keep it in esports. Moving on to the virtual hardwood NBA 2K League. Time for an update. OG, you got it, man. We're heading down the stretch, brother. Heading into July now, bro.
Oh yeah, it's definitely just to recap. Thursday, Mavs GG defeated Warriors Gaming. Sherm, the point guard, he was the player of that series. That was 25 points, 4.5 assists. Kingsguard Gaming defeated T-Wolves Gaming. That boy's shots averaged 12 points, 12.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Wizards District Gaming improved to 7-1. They defeated Knicks Gaming. Day Fry starting center, averaged 12 points, 14.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Jazz Gaming defeated Heat Check Gaming. Splashy averaged 34 points, 7.5 assists. On Friday, Mavs Gaming upset Warriors Gaming. Breezy averaged almost 30 points and 7 assists. Heat Check Gaming, they ended 76ers GC. They were on a 1-game winning streak, and Heat Check pretty much ended that.
It's one game. I've always had that argument with people. Is that a winning streak?
Well, true. I mean, but they, after they had the slump that they've been going through, they consider that they're, hopefully getting back on track, and Heat Check pretty much put that in check.
Glenn Ratty. I see what you did. You couldn't sneak that past me.
Glenn Ratty, rookie point guard for Heat Check. He averaged 31 points, 7 assists. Hot Shot, their starting center, averaged 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks.
Man, he was a bad boy in season 1, playing on that small forward build. Yeah. Everybody was a bad boy in season 1 on that build, though.
Definitely. Jazz Gaming, and they went 2-0 for the week. They finished out at 7-1, defeated Gen G. Splashy again, averaged 31.5 points, 8 assists. Mavs also went 2-0 this week and defeating Celtics Crossover, who remain winless at 0-9. Pete B. Ballin averaged the starting center. He averaged 17 points, 14 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. To round off player of the week candidates is Pete B. Ballin from Mavs GG, Vandy from Grizz Gaming, Splashy from Jazz Gaming, and Shifty Kai from Gen G. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Splashy, he's winning a fan poll on Twitter, on the NBA 2K League Twitter account. And definitely this week, the league will be starting on Monday due to the July the 4th. So, they go from Monday through Thursday. And we'll open up on Monday against Cavs Legion, and we play again on Thursday against T-Wolves Gaming.
Coach K, Coach OG, can you do us a favor? I want you to put me on a freaking conference call with your guys, man. I've got to. It's like, guys, you are our favorite team on this show. You know what I'm saying? You know, the NBA players get to put, Black Lives Matter or any social justice causes. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the back of their jerseys. If you had the jersey on the back, it would say Esports Extra. Damn it, we are part of the show. I got to rile the troops up, man. It's go time, Nets. Nothing but Nets. Damn it, let's go. I mean, what are we doing here? I want you guys in the playoffs. Chalk, do your thing. Chess, all you guys, man, let's go, man. What are we doing? Pick it up now. Let's go.
We coming off our bye week, and really everything that we can ask for being on a bye week, we got. I mean, we're still sitting at 9 in the playoff chase. So,
are we satisfied with 9?
Oh, definitely.
Is that what we're doing?
No.
Satisfied with 9?
No, but not have played and still be sitting in the same position.
Now we're making excuses. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
It ain't good enough.
No, that's no excuse. I'm just saying we didn't play a game and we still sent. So that means we got some good help this past week, and we got
just help yourself. I don't need nobody's help. I help my damn self. Barry Horowitz. That's what I want from the Nets. Pat yourself on the back. You don't need help. Get it done. Let's go, man. Come on, man. I'm getting on a conference call with you guys, man. Before the game, I'm dead serious, Coach K. OG. Put me on the phone, man, with your guys, man, so I can get them going. Me and Durham, get them going, man.
I got you.
Okay, all right. Because that's my team, and I want to see them in the playoffs, man. Let's go. I don't care about no Cavs.
I want to see us in the playoffs.
Oh, good stuff. We're just messing around. Oh, good stuff, man. But you guys are like adopted team, so we have to root for you guys. So good stuff there. Get Trouble, the movie, comes out Friday, released in select theaters, also streaming online and streaming services on demand as well. Also, the good news and the big news is we'll be doing the Celebrity HBCU Takeover 1 week from today, 6 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern, live here on Twitch, twitch.tv/CompeteForever. Also on Mixer, mixer.com/CompeteForever. On YouTube as well, youtube.com/CompeteForever. And on Facebook, facebook.com/gaming/CompeteForever. It's going to be myself, Renee Montgomery, hosting it. We got a lot of influential people on it. 100 Black Men, the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama. We got, Cheryl Underwood. We got Bill Bellamy. We got Malik Yoba. We got a bunch of athletes. Got a bunch of basketball, NFL players, more comics and comedians, having an NBA 2K tournament that will be live on the stream, representing 6 HBCUs. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are Southern. It's Langston. It's Derwin's old alma mater. Well, not old. That's his alma mater, Virginia State. We got Hampton. We got, who else we got? John C. Smith. And FSU, Fayetteville State University, going to have 6 students representing those 6 teams, those 6 schools, and they're going to duke it out and play for, probably $500 or $1,000 in other prizes. NBA 2K tournament that will be live during the Streamathon. So I interviewed the president of 100 Black Men yesterday, put it on tape. Tommy Dortch, some on Black News Channel and on MSNBC recently. So he's doing some real good stuff, man. Very smart brother. Knows the great John Lewis, doing some very good things in the community down in Atlanta. I guess the first chapter was here in the New York City, New Jersey area with the great Jackie Robinson. That's who founded and started 100 Black Men. So it's pretty cool, the stories that I got to hear about that. He was talking about the name 100 Black Men. And he's like, yeah, we're just 100 Black Men. What's going to be, we need a name. He's like, oh, that's our name, 100 Black Men. So that's where they came from. So good stuff there. You guys excited about John Lewis stirring up the pot, trying to stir up some good trouble? That's what it's all about. Get out there and vote. That's the most important thing. The voting, the education component. That's the most important thing that we're going to be promoting for these 18 to 25-year-olds in that specific demographic. OG.
No, definitely. I can't wait. I mean, it's it's time we start having conversations that are uncomfortable to get to a point for hopefully one day we can be comfortable as a whole. So it's definitely needed. I can't wait to see it, and I look forward to watching the stream and everything like that.
Yeah. D-Dubs, your thoughts, man? Good trouble, man. We got to
Yeah,
do it. Got to get into it.
got to get into it. And I mean, this is the perfect time for it. I mean, this
Yeah.
movie is coming out at the
Perfect
right
time.
time. It's the right climate for it. And
Well, it's
I'm
supposed
all
to come
for
out in May in theaters nationwide. And of course, with the pandemic in March, they shut everything down. Now, I think it's going to be in select theaters, mostly in the main larger cities. But the fact that it's on demand and all the streaming services, it's going to hit the sweet spot.
But you know what? That's probably a blessing. Not saying
It
the
is.
pandemic was a blessing, but just that, if it would have came out then, the nation wasn't in flux at that time.
Absolutely.
Now that it's coming out, we got so much going on with social injustice. That's what I mean, that this is the perfect time for
Perfect.
it. Perfect time for it. And I can't wait to see this movie. Um, Anything that's going to bring us closer together. I don't know, in my lifetime, if I ever live to see it, unity with all our races, everyone together, you know, just as one. And that's what I hope and I wish and I pray for.
Yeah, good stuff. Good Trouble, the movie, once again, coming out Friday in theaters, also on demand. The stream, the HBCU takeover, the celebrity stream, 1 week from today, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time, right here, twitch.tv/compete forever, and all the other channels, YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook will be doing it. It should be a lot of fun, man. It's been a bear putting together, man, but we're going to do it in conjunction with our friends at HBCU Heroes. Shout out to Tracy Pennywell and the great George Lynch, G. Lynch, former NBA veteran, won a national championship at North Carolina, and also was the coach at Clark Atlanta men's basketball program. So we'll get into that. Lastly, before we get out of here, Compete Forever on Black News Channel again this weekend. We're on yesterday and today. Yesterday at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern. Today, this morning, we showed the NBA 2K February Championship from Foxwoods. It aired today on Black News Channel. Get the re-air tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Once again, Compete Forever, NBA 2K League Championship, NBA 2K Championship. Don't want to say 2K League. I ain't trying to get in trouble. Our NBA 2K Championship tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, leading right into the BNC Black News Channel prime time news tonight at 7. We are the lead-in to that, preceding that at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on the Black News Channel. See who wins and gets a spot into the grand final tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Black News Channel. Guys, any last thoughts before we get out here?
Shout out to Mama Snook and Diddy and our sis Renee.
Renee.
Good show, y'all.
Snook and Diddy. Any text that you can share? I'm not trying to get in your business, but I love when they reach out to you, man. It warms my heart, dude.
Typically, I was on vacation this past week, so just send them, Father's Day love and everything like that, and just wishing me safe travels, which is all appreciated. It really is.
I know, man. God bless you, dude. And good luck with everything, man. Tell the family we said hello. We are sending definitely positive vibes and good energy, man, towards the Curtis family back there in the Dayton, Ohio area. Tell your kids and your daughter and everybody that we're thinking about them, and we really appreciate that. Any last thoughts from you, Derwin Worrell?
Just thinking about Renee and all that she's doing for the cause. Big shout out to her. May she continue to progress and push for all of us. And looking forward to Good Trouble. Looking forward to see that movie, and looking forward to this Sunday coming up with HBCUs. I hear my alma mater's in there, and a couple of other CIAA schools.
Your guy's the number one seed, Keon. He's the number one seed, I think, man.
Yeah, you got Johnson C. Smith in there and Fayetteville State. Those are other CIAA schools. So
Hampton, Southern,
Yeah, so I'm kind of pushing for that and looking forward, whatever's coming up this week. And everyone be safe.
Absolutely. And once again, Renee Montgomery, we thank you for everything, man. Doing, a great job. Yeoman's work, man. Being solid, leading this charge. Got some other players and your colleagues in the WNBA, even in the NBA. Everyone's getting on board. You've got our full support. Just, a tremendous thing that you're doing. A service to this country, a service to your people, a service to your community. and we're definitely behind you, and we miss her. She'll be back tomorrow night. Coach K, he'll be back as well. OG, good luck tomorrow night and Thursday night. We won't see you the next two shows. I guess next time we'll see you is next Sunday, leading into the Good Trouble stream. So yeah, man. Thanks to everybody, man. And you guys be safe. For Kevin Mamuzet pushing all the right buttons most of the time. We don't want to say all the time because he ain't perfect. Most of the time, he's close to it though. OG the King, Eddie King, OG King Kurt. Brooklyn Nets got a big game on Monday and Tuesday, and of course, my good buddy, dear friend Derwin Worrell, fellow sportscaster. Keep doing your thing with the website and the company that you're working with, man. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. A special esports extra tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Willie Colon on, a colleague of mine at SNY, former Super Bowl champ with the Steelers, also played with the Jets. He'll be on tomorrow. From all of us here at esportsXTRA, thanks and have a safe day. So long from the tri-state area. We'll see you 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, right here, esportsXTRA on twitch.tv/compete forever. Have a great Sunday afternoon, guys. Oh, throw them up. Throw them up. Come on, Derby, get in here. And that's for the baby girl. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Miss you, Renee.
All right. Be good, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.